Nigerian military is saddled with the moral responsibility and constitutional responsibility to produce the oil theft if they are denying being complicit and culpable of the allegation levied against them by Asari Dokubo. And of course, many other well-meaning Nigerians have accused the military of sabotage. They are saddled with the responsibility of protecting the territorial integrity of the Nigerian state, including the waterways. So if they are telling us they are not in charge, they are unaware of the oil theft, let them tell us, produce the oil theft, or by implication tell us they are just uselessing the money, taxpayers' money that is being used in paying their salary. They should not deny that. Let them do the needful and redeem their public image because it's become so important at this time. And they must prove to the masses that they are as clean, of course, as they come to equity. You cannot tell me that you are saddled with the responsibility of the oversight function of protecting the territorial integrity of the Nigerian state, of course, which includes the waterways and the air surveillance. And within your watch, oil bunkers or oil theft is going on to the tunes of billions, several billions of dollars, or to the point that it was alleged, even by the federal government, that more than 80% of the crude oil is being stolen. You can imagine that. Why we have the military, the air force, and the navy. Then who is really stealing this? Is it the ordinary civilians, the bloody civilians who has no, of course, trained to defend the territorial integrity of the Nigerian state? Who exactly is involved? If not, of course, the heavyweights are within the military. So the allegation made against the military by Asari Dokubo and other well-meaning Nigerians should not be swept under the carpet. The chief of army staffs, chief of naval staffs, of course, of navy should be able to redeem their image by telling us who those thefts are and how comes they beat the intelligence, of course, of the entire military formation, the waterways, the navies, and the air surveillance, and could not be captured, even their vessels, while coming closer to the Nigerian seashores, could not be picked up. What a shame. This is a total aberration and unacceptable. The military, of course, have a question, of course, to clear their, of course, public view on this very critical subject, or otherwise, of course, tell us that they are no longer known for integrity and discipline. They're driven by material wealth and acquisition to the point that the nation security has been compromised, greatly compromised and battered. No wonder the infiltrations and the announced actors are having the sway of the entire process, of course, intimidating and subjecting the Nigerian masses to the worst security state. This is quite alarming at this time. The defense headquarters, rather than debunking and counter allegations, should be able to tell us who were they that stole the oil money, the crude, on daily basis. Is it to the tune that 80% of the oil is being stolen and yet you have the military, you have everything? Oh no, this is quite unfortunate. And how do you intend, of course, to build a system, a viable system? No wonder Nigeria is indebted to the tune of close to 100 trillion naira, including the external and the internal debt profile exceeds far beyond 100 trillion. oh, what this is very bad omen and a clear indication that Nigerian state is at the state of insolvency, at a state of winding up, because a country that can no longer sustain its spendings, expenditures, and of course pay salaries, basic salaries, except they go borrowing, it honestly is quite unfortunate that such system can survive. Not even with the, of course, porosity and the tendency of stealing even the national treasury that should have been used to function and finance the activities of the government. But unfortunately, the state actors, I mean, instruments of the state, seems to be, of course, conspiring against its own existence and continuity. And no one should be blamed, not even the gods, because the center could not hold, and indeed things has fallen apart. Otherwise, that wouldn't have been the experience of the story. And then I want to know what is your mind. Of course, let us know via the comment section of this development. It is not the time to begin the blame game. It is time to take responsibilities, either for inactions and the abuse of office, or negligence, of course, to duty. Whichever way, but then we are caught with the reality. How would Nigeria sustain its debt becomes an endless rhetoric, because with the foregoing, inflation is biting hard, and no one is left, of course, but to feel that this country, in the nearest, of course, decades, might still be groveling in the path of finding and recovering its part in the community of nations. But this could not even be contemplated, especially when you have a system that does not discourage impunity, public, of course, extortion and the embezzlement of public funds.